So are you thinking of making Highlands Ranch, Colorado your next hometown? Well, it is a beautiful place, but no place is perfect, so there are some cons you need to think about. Let's go ahead and dive into one of those first before I tell you about some of the pros as well. First thing, if you take a look around here, you can see all of this snow. So if you're coming from someplace maybe like California or Arizona, Texas, Florida, that has a very mild winter, this snow could be a drastic shock to you. There's also some other events in the summertime like hailstorms that we get, so that could also be a deterrent. So some of the weather patterns definitely could be different. We do get a lot of sunshine because it is really sunny out here right now, but of course with some of the temperature drops, it can be pretty darn cold as well. So just one of the things that you definitely need to consider when you're thinking about Highlands Ranch. Now, I have a whole bunch of pros and cons I would love to share with you, and we're gonna go ahead and get started with those right now. One of the great things about Highlands Ranch is that it is a master plan community. It was built and started in the 80s, and the great thing about a master plan community is that the thoughtful layout makes sure that everything in the neighborhoods is thoughtfully connected together. So all of your key amenities like schools, parks, and all of the neighborhoods are just really well thought out and placed. Even all of the roads are strategically laid out to reduce traffic as much as possible. Highlands Ranch has over 20 distinct neighborhoods, each with their own distinct feel. One thing that is great is that all of the maintenance of the areas is taken care of by the Highlands Ranch Community Association through your homeowner's dues. That means all of the parks and recreational areas, the rec centers, are all maintained to a very high level and standard. All of the public spaces, the trails are all maintained really well, and even all of the recreational programs at those rec centers is completely taken care of through your homeowner's dues. If you like a neighborhood where you can get to everything very conveniently, you will love Highlands Ranch. If you are concerned about how close Highlands Ranch is to Denver, that is one of the best things about it, is that it has a very close proximity to Denver. You can get the best of both worlds, living here in a quiet suburb while still being really close to and convenient to the city. Highlands Ranch, if you take a look at a map here, is only about 20 miles south of Denver, and depending on traffic, get there in probably about 30 to 40 minutes. So that means if you work in downtown Denver or even in the Denver Tech Center, your commute is super manageable. Many people like to choose Highlands Ranch because then you can have a nice suburban home with a yard, but still have that convenience to being close to Denver. The C-470 highway runs right by Highlands Ranch, making it very convenient to get from here to I-25, which will take you right to downtown Denver. And of course, beyond work, being close to Denver opens up a whole lot of entertainment opportunities from concerts and theater and restaurants, so you can get all downtown. Definitely a pro for being here. Now let's talk about one of the bigger cons of living at Highlands Ranch, and that is the higher cost of living. If you're coming from somewhere like California or New York, the higher prices here might not seem too bad, but from other places around the country, they might seem a little bit higher. As of January 2025, the average home price here in Highlands Ranch is about $740,000. So that's a little higher than the national average and higher than some of the surrounding suburbs like Castle Rock or Parker. If you're renting, you can expect to probably pay somewhere between $2,500 to $3,500 to rent a single family home. And even apartments out here aren't cheap either. Colorado's property taxes are fairly low, so that's a good benefit. But Highlands Ranch does have a lot of HOA covered neighborhoods, so those fees do have to be considered in that cost as well. And what about your everyday expenses? Your gases, your groceries, those things do tend to run a little bit more as well, so that can cut into your bottom line. I would say expect to spend about 10% more than some of those other cities like Colorado Springs or Fort Collins for those expenses. So if you're a first-time home buyer or you're on a tight budget, this higher cost could be a definite con for you looking at Highlands Ranch. Another pro for Highlands Ranch is the quality of schools. Highlands Ranch is part of the Douglas County School District, which is an award-winning school district. And with schools like the Rock Canyon High School and Mountain Vista High School, both schools are consistently earning top ratings with their students for graduation rates and school testing. That's a big deal if you're thinking about long-term academic opportunities for your kiddos. In addition to all of the traditional academics, these schools offer a ton of extra programs. They have everything from robotics, performing arts, all of the school sports, programs for the gifted, and programs for anyone that needs a little extra help. So I definitely consider that a pro. Just a quick reminder before we jump into our next point that I am a licensed broker here in the state of Colorado, and I would love the opportunity to earn your business or answer any real estate questions for you. So feel free to reach out to me, DM me. All of my contact information is in that description box below. I would love to help you out. Now on to that next point. All right, this next one can be a controversial one, and that is HOAs. The reason why it's controversial is because some people love them and some people absolutely hate them. Almost every neighborhood here in Highlands Ranch is part of an HOA, which is a homeowners association. Now you ask, what type of things does an HOA regulate? And they regulate a bunch of things, from paint colors to parking to landscaping and even holiday decorations. They can even tell you how long your trash cans are allowed to be set outside. Now with HOAs, there's always fees that are involved, so some people are opposed to those. HOA fees can range anywhere from about $50 a month, sometimes up to $300 a month, depending on what area you're in. Now on the plus side, an HOA can keep your neighborhood looking really nice, which keeps your home's values high. But on the downside, they can be really strict. So if you want to park an RV in your driveway for a long period of time, or if you wanted to paint your house a really nice bright hot pink, nope, that's not going to happen in an HOA controlled neighborhood. So if you love a really clean, maintained neighborhood that helps keep the values high, you would definitely love Highlands Ranch. But if you're someone that wants to be able to do anything you want with your property, you would probably be driven crazy by having an HOA. So definitely something to consider. One thing that definitely may not have been on your list to consider, but is a definite pro for Highlands Ranch, is the access to great healthcare. Highlands Ranch is home to the UC Health Highlands Ranch Hospital. It opened in 2019 and features a ton of state-of-the-art facilities. It has everything from emergency services, maternity services, advanced surgical. So for families looking to have top-tier medical facilities, definitely an advantage of being here. In addition to UC Health, Highlands Ranch is really close to Lone Tree, which is home to the Sky Ridge Hospital, also has a ton of those same state-of-the-art facilities. So between these two hospitals, along with a ton of other urgent care and doctor's offices, healthcare is at your fingertips. So you're never far from medical help if you need it. When you live in Highlands Ranch, one of the biggest lifestyle perks is the closeness to those famous Colorado mountains. So whether you're an avid skier, snowboarder, someone that maybe just loves to hike or camp, this close proximity makes it definitely a huge pro. In fact, you can get to some of these popular mountain destinations such as Keystone, Breckenridge, Copper Mountain in just about 2 hours. If you're looking to travel not even that far, you can get to Loveland or even Echo Park in just a little over an hour. This makes it super nice and convenient for day trips. And even if you're not interested in those winter sports, those mountains offer great things for the summer enthusiast. So at Roxborough State Park, only about 20 minutes away, there are tons of hiking trails for every level. And even if you don't take the opportunity to get up to the mountains very often, having that breathtaking scenery from outside your window or when you're walking through the neighborhood is definitely a huge plus. We talked briefly at the top of the video here about the snow. Want to say that one of the pros of Highlands Ranch is definitely the mild climate. It does get snow, but Colorado's known for getting over 300 plus days of sunshine. So even today you'll see snow on the ground, but it is 40 degrees and it is beautiful and sunny outside. And with that great warmer weather, it does make sure that the snow melts fairly rapidly, so it won't stick around for long. So on average, Highlands Ranch receives about 60 inches of snowfall per year, which is definitely a lot less than other places around the country, making it a lot more mild. Summers here are pretty nice as well. So we do get temperatures up into the 80s and 90s, rarely ever into the 100 degrees. So summers here are warm, but they're not overly hot like other places. So if you're used to a summer in Phoenix or Las Vegas, nothing like that. In the summer, you'll see temperatures in the 80s, maybe in the 90s. Rarely ever does it ever get above 100 degrees. And what's nice as well, because of our elevation, it does cool down at night. So even when it gets really hot during the day, you can open up those windows at night, cool it down really nice. So this mild climate makes it easy to enjoy all of those outdoor activities. So whether you want to ski in the winter or bike or hike in the summer, this mild climate makes it a definite pro for Highlands Ranch. Next, let's go ahead and talk about the public transportation here in Highlands Ranch, or the limited availability of that public transportation. Now, RTD does have several bus routes that travel through Highlands Ranch, but again, they are very limited and the schedules are kind of sparse. There is also no light rail directly into Highlands Ranch. If you want to take light rail, you would of course have to take a bus or some other type of transportation to get you to one of the light rail stations. So this lack of public transportation does mean you're probably going to have to rely on a car. And of course, if you have a car, you're going to have increased auto repair costs, mileage, and gas. So it's definitely one thing to consider, is that limited amount of public transportation here in Highlands Ranch. One of the big pros, and one thing that Highlands Ranch is known for, is its community amenities. They have top-notch facilities to help you stay active and social. Highlands Ranch has 4 amazing rec centers. Each of these rec centers are fully equipped with things like swimming pools, basketball courts, fitness centers, and even indoor tracks. The best part of this is that access to all of these facilities is covered with your homeowner's dues, so no extra charge for those. These rec centers offer tons of classes, everything from Pilates to yoga, even high intensity interval training. And of course, this means all ages, everybody from little babies all the way up to their senior programs that they offer. And beyond the rec centers, there are plenty of parks and playgrounds around as well. Some of the more popular ones are Civic Green Park, which hosts outdoor concerts and movie events, and Dad Clark Park, which has a large playground and picnic area. And of course, if you're a dog owner like myself, there's even designated dog areas where our doggy friends can run free off leash. It's these great amenities that makes Highlands Ranch such a great community-focused place to live. Now, if you're someone who loves the nightlife and wants to go out and hit the bars, this may be a deal breaker for you, because Highlands Ranch is definitely not known for the vibrant nightlife. There definitely is a limited bar and music scene. There are a few local bars and breweries around here in Highlands Ranch, but for a real night out, you are going to need to make the drive down to Denver or maybe to nearby Littleton. Most of the bars and restaurants here are closed by about 9 or 10 o'clock, so everything does shut down a little earlier compared to most really vibrant night scenes. So Highlands Ranch is home to a bunch of chains like Chili's, Olive Garden, Texas Roadhouse. So if you're looking for that really cool one-of-a-kind place, you're probably going to need to head downtown for that. As we wrap it up here, you're going to notice there was definitely a lot more pros than cons for living here in Highlands Ranch, because it is truly a beautiful place to live. If you do have any comments, I do invite you to that comment box below. Any questions, please feel free to reach out. All my information is in that description box below. Until our next video, I hope to see you around town. Bye-bye.